All right, let's dive right in. We spend so much time looking for the perfect trading strategy, right? That one secret indicator, that next hot tip. But what if I told you the real edge, the thing that separates the pros from everyone else, isn't on any chart? It's right here, inside your own head. This is all about mastering the market inside your mind.
I mean, really think about that for a second. We've all been there. That gut punch feeling when a trade goes south. That wave of panic. That's not the market out to get you. That's your own mind reacting. The real fight isn't against some hedge fund or some algorithm. Your biggest, most formidable opponent is you.
So let's pull back the curtain and look at the science of why this is so dang hard. Here's the thing you have to get. Our brains are not, I repeat, not wired for the pressures of modern trading. They're wired for survival in the wild, and those ancient instincts, well, in the markets, they can lead you straight to self-sabotage.
And I mean this literally. When you see your position dropping fast, your brain doesn't just register it as a financial loss. No, it sees a threat, a predator, a tiger in the bushes. Your amygdala, that ancient, primitive part of your brain, hits the panic button. It floods your system with stress hormones, kicking off that classic fight or flight response. And when that happens, your ability to think clearly, calmly, and logically just goes right out the window. So what's really going on is this constant tug of war inside your head. You've got your lizard brain, which is all about fast, emotional gut reactions. And then you have your rational mind, the slow, logical, analytical part. When things are calm, your rational mind is usually in charge. But the second that tiger, that losing trade shows up, the lizard brain hijacks everything. The entire goal of trading psychology is to keep your rational mind in the driver's seat, especially when the heat is on.
And if that wasn't enough, your brain also loves to use these things called cognitive biases. Think of them like mental shortcuts. They're super helpful in day-to-day life, letting you make quick decisions without overthinking. But in trading, these shortcuts are absolutely deadly, because they're built on assumptions and emotions, not on cold, hard data.
Let's just look at 3 of the absolute worst offenders. First, you've got FOMO, the fear of missing out, which has you jumping on a trade way after the move has already happened. Then there's confirmation bias, where you basically put on blinders and only look for info that proves you're right, ignoring all the red flags. And finally, loss aversion. This is a big one. Psychologically, losing $100 hurts way more than winning $100 feels good. And that simple fact causes the most classic trading mistake of all, holding losers way too long and cutting winners way, way too soon. So all this brain science, all these biases, they really boil down to 2 massive, powerful emotions that are responsible for pretty much every huge trading blunder you can think of. We're talking about the big ones, fear and greed. They are the twin engines of disaster. And they might feel like complete opposites, but it's crucial to see them as 2 sides of the very same coin. Greed is this illusion. It blinds you to risk and convinces you to gamble. Fear, on the other hand, is a barrier. It freezes you, stops you from taking good trades, or scares you out of great ones way too early. In the end, they both do the exact same thing. They destroy your discipline.
Greed doesn't usually scream at you. It whispers. It's sneaky. It dresses itself up as confidence or ambition. It's that little voice that says, this one's a sure thing. Go bigger. You don't even need a stop loss this time. The second you stop thinking about probabilities and start fantasizing about a life-changing win, that's greed, and it's just taking the wheel.
And fear is just as tricky. It's not just being scared of losing money. Oh no, it's the fear of being wrong, which makes you hold on to a losing trade just to save your ego. It's the fear of missing out, which we already know is a disaster. And it's that crippling fear of just pulling the trigger on a perfect setup. It's analysis paralysis. Fear's job is to keep you safe, but trading is all about taking calculated risks.
Okay, enough about the problem. We get it. Our brains are working against us. So how do you actually fight back when you're in a live trade and your heart is pounding? This is where we get practical. This is about mastering the moment, and here's a toolkit you can use right away.
The first tool is so simple, but it's unbelievably powerful. It's called box breathing, and it's used by Navy SEALs to stay calm in the most insane situations. When you feel that panic rising, just do this. Inhale for 4,
hold for 4, exhale for 4, and hold for 4. This simple act physically hijacks that stress response. It slows your heart rate and lets your rational brain come back online. Seriously, try it. It works. We all know about financial stop losses, right? Well, you need a mental one too. This is a predefined point where you recognize, I'm not thinking clearly anymore. Maybe you're angry, maybe you're trying to get revenge on the market. Whatever it is, when you hit that mental stop loss, you stop. You walk away. End of story. This rule will save you more money than any indicator ever will.
All right, now for a more subtle technique, but this one is a game changer. Look, the goal isn't to get rid of your emotions. That's impossible. The goal is to stop being a victim of them. You want to become an observer of your emotions, and you can do that just by changing the words you use in your head. Check this out. It's a tiny shift, but it changes everything. Instead of saying, I am anxious, you say, I notice that anxiety is present. See the difference? The first one makes the emotion your identity. The second one separates you from it. It creates a little bit of space. And in that space, you find the power to choose a logical response instead of just having a knee-jerk emotional reaction.
So, how do we put all of this together into a real working system? Well, here's the secret. Your real strategy isn't about moving averages or chart patterns. Your real strategy is discipline. And discipline isn't something you're born with. It's a skill. It's a muscle that you have to build day in and day out.
I mean, this is the bottom line, isn't it? You could have the most profitable trading strategy in the world, but it is completely useless if you don't have the discipline to follow it. Discipline is the bridge between your plan and your results. It's the only thing that matters when the pressure is on. It's what makes you a professional.
And guess what? Emotionally strong traders don't just have more willpower. They have better systems. They build a structure for their day that makes being disciplined easier. A quick mental reset in the morning, a solid pre-market routine, taking scheduled breaks to get away from the screen, a nightly trade review, and a hard stop time when the computer gets turned off. These aren't suggestions. They're the foundations of a professional career.
And one of the most powerful habits of all is journaling. But I'm not just talking about writing down your entry and exit prices. No, you have to log your emotions. How did you feel when you entered the trade? What were you thinking when it went against you? Journaling makes those invisible emotional patterns visible. You can't fix a problem you can't see, and this is how you finally see it. And all of this leads us to the final and most profound step in this journey. This isn't just about learning a few new tricks. This is about a fundamental shift in who you are as a trader. It's about consciously choosing and then building a new identity, the identity of a calm, disciplined professional. Just look at this. Who are you right now? And more importantly, who do you want to become? The gambler is impulsive, driven by emotions, and blames the market when things go wrong. The strategist, on the other hand, is disciplined, plans everything, manages risk, and learns from every single outcome, good or bad. This is the choice. This is the shift. Real, unshakable confidence isn't something you just find. It's something you earn. You build it, brick by brick, with your actions. Every time you do your homework, every time you follow your plan to the letter, every time you journal honestly, you are casting a vote for that new identity. And please, get this last one. Celebrate when you follow your rules. Even on a losing day, if you executed your plan perfectly, that is a huge win. That's how you rewire your brain for success.
Let this one really sink in. This is the ultimate mindset shift that sets the pros apart. Your ego desperately wants to be right on every single trade. But your job as a trader is not to be right. Your job is to manage risk, period. Once you truly detach your self-worth from whether one trade wins or loses, you're free. You can finally operate like a professional.
And that's what this all comes down to, really. The market is just there. It's a stream of data. It has no idea who you are, and it certainly doesn't care about your feelings. The only feelings that matter in this equation are yours. And if you don't care enough about them to manage them, they will manage you and they will cost you everything. So the real question isn't how you're going to beat the market. The real question is, how are you going to master yourself?